to keep your money to yourself and her money to herself. Let me know what your opinion or take is. But at the end of the day, we'll exchange ideas and see which one works and which one is likely to help us have better relationships. Not per se only marriage, but also relationships. Because I'm looking at marriage being one of those things that are partnerships. We meet somewhere along the way and we work together and build and create a beautiful thing at the end of the day. But when we don't, and we look at it as you are the ATM and I am the spender, I'll help you spend. Anyone can spend. So what is it that makes some marriages work and some marriages fail? They are along with so many other reasons, but money is also key. There are those who are stingy, there are hoarders, and then there are those who spend like there is no tomorrow. My goodness, dealing with both. And when you're getting married, you don't know who you're getting married to. Is it or you're getting in a relationship? You don't necessarily know to full detail who exactly you have, whether it's the spender or the ATM. But normally, most men pose as though they are ATMs, and these ATMs that never run dry. I hope today we'll find a thing or two that will help us and have better financial, outlook on things. Some of the most common shifts after marriage are the ones I want to talk about. The most common shifts after marriages or after relationships or commitment. Common shifts after commitments or after marriage. Remember, the topic of discussion today is money and marriage. What really changes after the rings go on? I mean, the moment you put it on her finger like this, what really changes is what we are dealing with today. It's a live podcast. Go ahead and drop in the comment section who it is that is watching and where you're watching from. And together we can chat Friday night away. It's not good when it's one-way traffic where it's me and me alone giving ideas. You can go ahead and drop in the comment section. And there's a WhatsApp number that is in the description. That number is +256 762 599 That number is for WhatsApp group in case you're interested in joining the WhatsApp group where it all goes down on, and that number is also for discussing topics in case you feel like you would want and even to talk to someone, and you can never know, you could meet someone on that group, never know. Yeah, otherwise we were talking about some of the most common shifts after marriage. These are combining or partially combining accounts. That is one of the shifts, because before you had your own account, now you're either going to combine or partially combine. When I say partially combine, there's combining where you bring your money, I bring mine, and we open up an account where all our money is on there. That is different. And there is also a situation where once we are in a relationship, once we are committed, the rings go on, where we open up an account and you bring a certain amount of your money and I bring a certain amount. So like we all bring 30%, or we can agree we each bring 500,000 on that account every month, depending on our status or income. Now, there's that understanding where you can bring a certain amount and we have a joint account. Now, that one is a different one. There's also aligning on what a good purchase is. Because, say like I'm a spender and I like spending. And because I don't know how much you really have, I could think you've got it. And so all I do is look online. What is the latest list that has just come out? What is out lately? What is trending? What do people have in their homes that I don't know about? I could be that type of person simply because I don't know exactly how much you earn. And I'm living by assumption that you really have got your financial issues together. And so all I do is spend. That is why it is key to become like an open book. in our marriages or in our relationships or in our dealings with people. But I would put it in terms of commitments because it's about when the rings go on. Now, aligning on what a good purchase is. In other words, agreeing on what a good purchase is. I could say, let us buy a fridge. It is really good if it is double door. I've got to explain to my partner as to why we should spend that much and why we should get that kind of fridge when there are others which are not double door but can really work, or I've been having mine and it has worked for me for this long. Now we are getting married and you're suggesting we get another one. So aligning on what a good purchase is another thing that shifts after marriage. Also planning for long-term goals together. Oh my goodness, because before you were planning Christmas, I'll go to the village, I'll spend it with my uncles and my aunties, my cousins, and I'll take this much and just blow it away over Christmas. Now that you're married, or now that you're in a committed relationship, you're looking to spend, yeah, after consulting. Where are we going? Why are we going? How much are we taking? Those shifts after marriage are also key that we take note of. And also handling debt together. Say like I get married to you and you had a debt, but you didn't tell me. Once I get to know, and then I get to know that they are throwing us out of the house that you promised we could be living in. We need to find a way of handling debts together, because if you don't, the repercussions are going to affect both of you. So that is another thing that is key that we ought to look at, that shifts after the marriage or the rings go on, or that shifts after commitment. You could propose to me, and now in my head I'm thinking this man is going to take over every financial problem that I've ever had. I mean, I've always wanted to have a nice car and I've never got it. I've always wanted to buy, a nice phone. Now this man that I've got should be able to get their expectations as well. That needs to be handled once the rings go on. So what happens if your spouse is a big spender and you are a saver? What really happens? I need to know, guys. It's a live chat. Let me know who is watching and where you're watching from. Let me know who is watching and where you're watching from. It's a live podcast. And my question that I'm posing is, what happens if your spouse or your partner is a big spender and you are a saver? What really happens? Do you think such relationships survive? And Roger, so good to hear from you. Good evening, everyone. Roger says, I'm glad that you've come on board. And the topic of discussion, guys, today is money and marriage. What really changes after the rings go on? And the question on table is, what happens if your spouse is a big spender and you are a saver? What really happens? Does such a relationship stand? Or you could say, if you have a family that depends on you financially, but your partner doesn't, what happens? And Roger says, Dina, Lillian, where are you? I'm hoping Dina is on or is coming on board. Lillian, I'm hoping you're coming on board as well. Rogers is asking, where are you, Dina and Lillian? Where are you guys? We need to know where you've been. Rogers, so good that you've come on. I'm hoping you've had a good day. I was letting people know that we were warned against weather being bad. That our weather is going to shift from a warm one to a cold one at night. And temperatures are going to be dropping. If it has been cold, it's going to get colder. So keep us in prayer that we may be all able to, handle the changes in weather. And I'm hoping you're okay, and where you are, the temperatures are better than us. I know for sure they must be, because you're not where we are today. Otherwise, back to our topic. These are the big money conversations that can make or break a marriage, yeah, or a relationship. If you are listening live, I would love for you to drop a comment, guys. I would love that you drop a comment or a question in the chat. Tell me, what was your biggest money surprise? I mean, if you've been in a relationship before, what was your biggest money surprise after getting married or after proposing or getting proposed to? What was your biggest money surprise after getting married or after being proposed to? I need to know, guys, what was your biggest surprise? Otherwise, the biggest money challenge is what we are going to handle right now. Let's break down the 5 most common financial challenges. I 5 most common financial challenges that I hear from married couples. Yeah, the debt baggage, they say. Students loans, we are talking about car loans, credit cards, those of you who have credit cards, and family loans. That is been one thing that has affected so many people. And remember, guys, the topic that we are discussing today is money and marriage. What really changes? What really goes on after the rings go on? That is the topic that we are looking at today. Money and marriage. What really changes after the rings go on? It's a live chat. Go ahead and drop in the comment section who it is that is watching and where you're watching from. We are talking about money and marriage and what really happens when the rings go on. Those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, it's a live chat. Go ahead and drop in the comment section who it is that is watching and where you're watching from. And together, let us, pick brains and see which one works. Yeah, because once people get married or once people are in a relationship, things change. Before you are married, you have your own kamane. We call it in Uganda kamane. You have your money that does and meets your needs. You can buy that shoe when you want, buy that car, pay off that, start putting a down payment on a phone, you get that car loan. But once you get married, what really changes when the rings go on? Because the moment rings go on, certain things change.